So, you're just starting out with JavaScript and you keep hearing this word variable. It can sound a little technical, right? Well, today we're going to peel all that back and break it down in a really simple visual way. The goal here is to really get it, not just memorize a definition. You know that feeling, right? You type your name into a box on a website and a second later it says, "Hello, Alex." How does it do that? How does it hold on to the information you just gave it? It might feel like a little bit of magic, but what's really happening is one of the most fundamental ideas in all of programming. And it's all powered by something called a variable. They are, in a sense, the memory of a program. They're what give websites the power to feel alive and actually respond to you. Okay, to really wrap our heads around what a variable is, let's just forget about code for a second. Instead, I want you to picture this. Imagine you've just got a bunch of empty boxes, and each one has a nice, clear label on the outside. And that's really the heart of it. A variable is just a fancy name for a spot in the computer's memory that we've decided to give a name to. That named location is our labeled box, and it's just sitting there, waiting for us to put something inside. So what kind of stuff can we put in these boxes? Well, pretty much anything you can think of. It could be a piece of text, like your name. It could be a number, maybe the score in a game you're playing. It could even be a simple true or false value, just to keep track of whether you've checked a box or not. Okay, so this labeled box idea makes sense. But how do we actually tell JavaScript that we need one? How do we, create, or as programmers say, declare a variable? Let's walk through it. In JavaScript, there are these special reserved words that act as commands. For a long time, the main command to create a variable was the keyword var. Now, you'll still see var all over the place in older code, but these days you'll mostly see let and const. But for now, let's just stick with var to understand the basic idea. It's the instruction that tells JavaScript, hey, I need you to set aside a little piece of memory for me. And the process itself is wonderfully simple. First up, you just write var. That's step one. Next, you give your variable a name. This is the label you're writing on your box. And finally, you end the line with a semicolon. That little dot comma just tells JavaScript, okay, this instruction is done. And here's what that looks like in the real world. Var visitor name. Boom. With just that one line, we've told the computer, I need a box. Please go ahead and label it visitor_name. Now, at this exact moment, the box is empty. It exists, but there's nothing inside it just yet. So to actually put something inside our new box, we use the equal sign. Now, in programming, this is called the assignment operator. It's best to think of it not as equals, but more like an arrow. It takes whatever is on the right and it assigns it to the box on the left. So when we write visitor_name equals Alex, we are literally taking the string of text Alex and placing it neatly inside that box we labeled visitor_name. From now on, anytime our program needs to know that name, it can just go look at what's in the box. Now, here's something that's kind of cool about JavaScript's boxes. They're super flexible. Unlike some other programming languages where a box is built for only one type of thing, in JavaScript, you can change your mind. The same visitor_name variable could hold the name Alex right now, and then a minute later, you could store the number 10 in it. This is a concept called dynamic typing, and it just means the boxes can hold different types of data over time. We've talked about creating the box and putting stuff in it. But what about the label itself? Choosing a good name for your variable is way more important than you might think. It's really more of an art than a science. You have to remember, code isn't just for computers. It's for people. It's for you 6 months from now when you have no idea what you were thinking. And it's for other people who might have to work with your code. Clear, descriptive names are like a gift to your future self. They make the code's purpose obvious at a glance. I mean, just look at this. On the left, visitor name. It's crystal clear. You know exactly what that box is for. On the right, VN. What is that? Visitor number, version name? It's totally ambiguous and it just creates confusion. And this isn't just about being neat. There's a great quote that really drives this home. Many simple and potentially disastrous mistakes are possible with the variable named VN. When a name is unclear, it's so easy to use it for the wrong thing by accident. And that leads to bugs. Bugs that can be a nightmare to find and fix. Clarity really does prevent chaos. So, while naming is an art, there are a few hard and fast rules you have to follow. First, a variable name has to start with either a letter or an underscore. No numbers at the beginning. Second, you can't have any spaces in the name. And last, capitalization matters. A variable called name with a lowercase n is a completely different box from one called name with a capital N. All right, we've covered a lot of ground. So, after all this, what's the one simple idea we should really hold on to as we move forward? It all just comes down to this one simple question. As you're writing code, just pause and ask yourself, what information does my program need to remember? And then, what is the most honest, clear, and obvious label I can put on the box for that information? If you can do that, you're already well on your way. Because in the end, that's all variables are. They're just simple labeled boxes for our information. And by using them thoughtfully, we create websites and apps that are clearer, that are more reliable, and maybe just a little more human.